All right, welcome back to the channel. Today is Sunday. We actually are going on 2 service calls. I'm not really charging overtime, even though I should. I got a buddy who has a water heater that's down, and surprisingly, a couple months ago had a customer who had a bad gas valve on a water heater, and they sent me this one, which was the wrong one. That they needed the newer one that has the little LED light on it and all that, and so they sent me out the right one, and they just told me to keep this one. Well, last night my buddy calls me, sends me a picture, and lo and behold, this is the one he needs. So that's where we're going. And then bad news, that cooler from yesterday, the last video I posted, is at 70 degrees again. Go figure. You know, you try and tell these people not to put money into these things, and now, like, what do I do, you know? Like, I told her not to do anything with this, and yet she wanted it fixed. I did everything I could yesterday. Does that mean I don't charge her for yesterday? I don't think so. I don't feel guilty because I told her not to fix it. Well, they're saying the fan isn't working. My guess is the fan isn't working because all the Freon leaked out. That Freon I put in yesterday has leak stop in it, but apparently the leak's too big. So we got to go back out there and see if it actually is just the fan not working, which is stopping it from working, or if it's a combination of the Freon leaked out again and the fan stopped because the unit just overheats or goes into lockout or whatever. I didn't look that far into why it would shut off, but we shall see, unfortunately, on a Sunday. Go Bears.
All right, we're here at Good and Fresh. You know, one thing I didn't think about when I started this was how awkward it is filming in front of other people when you're trying to repair stuff. They look at you weird. Anyway, let's take a look at what's going on. All right, so we pumped it up full of nitrogen. Seemed to hold. So I think this, where is it? We call this a bullet valve. It straddles it and then pierces the line. I believe this is the culprit that is leaking. Not from around the sides, but off the top. So when my hose is hooked up to it, it's not leaking. But then when I take it off, even though I put leak stop and the cap back on it, it didn't work, or it leaked out. So what we're gonna do is, I was gonna originally try and put one of these in, but I think I changed my mind, and I'm gonna put one of these in, and I'll just put it in there. All right. Okay, we're cutting this off. All right. Look like that, and then we just got to solder it in, pull a vacuum, and be good. All right, just so you guys know, it is actually Sunday night during the Bears game. I showed up here at 8 o'clock because I wanted to rip this whole thing down. I didn't want to have everybody making food and everything be out of the way. I feel bad for her. You know, what are you gonna do? Trying to help a small family-owned business and do what I can, you know? So now we're gonna go grab some heat compound and put it on the other sides of the fitting that we're putting in and the torch, and braze it in, and we'll go from there. All right, we're all set up. That's brazed in. Here we got it hooked up. Gauge. Now we're gonna pull a vacuum, get all the air out, and then charge it up. Alright, we're pulling the vacuum. Hopefully it holds. Alright, now we're just waiting for this gauge. This is a micron gauge. It tells you how good of a vacuum you have. And it also has like a self-test on there to tell me if it's holding or not. So once we get down to that level, we'll run the test and see what it says. Alright, well, I'm going to have to pull the plug on this one. It's not fixable. It's from 1998. We have a restriction in the coil. Our pressure is way too low on the low side. I put 12 ounces in, which is 3 ounces more than it should, and being it's critical charge, it should be all kinds of messed up with that much extra Freon in it, but I'm not going to put any more in it. Pressure's down at 2.5 psi. It should be up at like 18. It should be way higher actually with the extra 3 ounces in there. And the thermostat's bad. The thermostat won't kick the compressor on. I had to go and tap on it in order to get it to start running. So even if it did run, you'd need a new thermostat, which isn't so bad if we needed to put a thermostat in. But the fact that there's a restriction in the system makes it unfixable because, well, I'll show you. Hold on. Freon has to go through this. And this tiny little thing here. And up and in, and yeah, gets plugged up and doesn't work right. I hate when you have nights like tonight. I tried to come out here after hours, help her out. I started out at 8 o'clock on Sunday night. It's now 11:30, and then you know you have to leave, and the unit's still not running correctly. And you know, yeah, I told her to buy a new unit the other day, and you know, you try and do the best you can to help these people, struggling businesses. I know what it's like. I'm not even going to charge her for all my time tonight, and I might actually cut her a better deal on I mean, I feel bad. What are you going to do, you know? It is what it is, so she'll have to get a new unit or rent one or whatever she's going to do, but that's it. They don't always end great.